What I'm saying is, I don't believe that it's wise to kid ourselves to believe that it now means brother, it now means I love you, it now means, because the behavior of people that use this word towards one another doesn't reflect that. I know when I was growing up, when we wanted to compliment someone, that's a word we use. We might pretend all that, but if we look at, even in London, the young boys in Hackney and Tottenham or Brixton and Peckham that are warring each other over nothing, sometimes even over inherited Americanisms, blue flag, red flag, we have that over here too, you know. Something we've
taken obviously from the LA games.
Yeah, I mean that let's be clear, if they weren't fighting over that, they'd be fighting over something else, because that's a product of their socioeconomic circumstance and many other things, right? The point is, we're not treating each other like brothers. So this argument that this word we're using, when they want to go and kill someone, which word is it young boys are using? They're not saying, when I see this brother, I'm going to kill him, you know. When I see my cousin, I'm going to kill him. When I see this, some other complimentary word, I'm going to shank him, or I'm going to... No, it's this particular word that we're using. So to say that it's been turned on its head, it just doesn't seem to be reflected in the real...
People that still use it are trying to tell you, no, it means this. Well, yeah, and you're saying, no, it doesn't actually mean that.
Absolutely, it doesn't, because the behavior of young black men towards one another, for a whole bunch of complicated historical reasons, for sure, but isn't reflective of that, to me. If we want to call each other brother, the word brother is perfectly adequate. Family, blood. I mean, at best, by reclaiming this word, you can have one other way to refer to people like you. At worst, you can be regurgitating this negative energy. So I just think, why do it? If you're going to use it, so people have proper reverence and respect for the pain that's attached to it, I would only use it in its real context, which is an unapologetic product of some of the most brutal racism in human history. And that's the context in which I believe it should continue to be used. You know, if people want a history of the word, they can, you know, have some photographs of lynching. They can understand what the Ku Klux Klan was and how popular they were. They can understand how racism was used to create a group of people to be wealth producers for another group of people, and all of these things. And I think usually when I give people that history properly, they don't want to use it. But the best example I give to people is my mother's white, as people know, my dad's black. When I work with young boys... Are
people surprised when you tell them that sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah, okay. Sometimes. They feel I gravitate more towards the African Caribbean side of my family, which is true. That's the side of the family I grew up around. Okay. That doesn't mean I don't have respect for both sides of my family. It means I grew up around one side. I didn't grow up so much around another side. In fact, my mum's dad was kind of unpleased about, to put it mildly, about my dad's presence, you know. So it meant that I didn't have as much interaction with that side of my culture. That is what it is. But when I go into prisons, or schools or elsewhere, and young boys write their raps in the workshops I'm doing, and they say, nigga, 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 nigga. I say, okay, cool. No problem, I'm not going to criticize you. I used to do the same thing. But let me ask you this, right? My mum's white, my dad's black. The white side of my family are from Scotland. Scotland is one of the most violent places in Western Europe. You know, a lot of violence in Scotland, gun violence, knife violence, etc. Now, even though the words like honky or cracker don't have any of the kind of racial domination history attached to them, if I start saying, you know, I'm gonna kill honkies, I'm gonna kill crackers, what would you guys think? And without exception, every single black boy has said to me, no, you can't do that, that's racist. Now, my white mother raised me, right? Yet me using that kind of language in relation to white people would offend the same black boys who have no issue using it in relation to themselves. So what does that say about how they feel about themselves and the value of their life and the value of offending them and their own sensibilities and their history? So when people try to convince me that this language means nothing or that it's a positive term now, I can't agree. And I had a similar conversation with one of my elders, a guy called Toyin. I did a radio show around the word when I was, I don't know, 2006, and he just gave me this similar spiel on it, and I just stopped.
And that was it?
I thought, yeah, he's right.
And that was 2006, 2008?
2006, 2007. Okay. So from my second album onwards, which came out in 2007, you won't hear the word in there so frequently, or not at all, actually.